Lesson 3, the power of consistency. Wow, this is a biggie. A lot of these are biggies, huh? Actually, everything I have in here is a biggie. That's why it's in here. These are all the things I found are the biggest problems and barriers to us having success with weight loss. So that's why all these things are in this program, and try to help you guys conquer these things, and it'll make this whole process a lot easier. Consistency is everything. Consistency is everything. Most people gain their weight back. Like I say, 85% of people who lose weight regain it. And this is why. They stop doing what they did to get there. And they usually stop doing what they did to get there because they don't enjoy doing what they did to get there. And it's usually based on the diet. A lot of people will keep working out, but then they mess up on the food. Consistency with your eating and your training is so important for success because your body is trying to adjust to the new you. And people keep going back. They'll ask for it. I do not do cheat days, so do not ask me. We don't do cheat days. We will do anything that we're not supposed to do for an entire day. That makes absolutely no sense. Okay, if you went to AA, there was no cheat days in MA. Oh, yeah, on Saturdays you can drink all day. Okay, they don't even have a cheat moment. Okay, you can't even take a shot without starting over again. Okay, so when it comes to food, when it comes to training, be consistent. Make sure that you're setting a schedule that you can actually do, and then do it. And this is something that I want you to think about real hard. If your life depended on it, or your child's life depended on it, you would do it every single day, 7 days a week, on clockwork, if your loved one depended on it, if your loved one's life depended on it. Well, your happiness depends on it. Your joy depends on it. Your sex life depends on it. Your marital life. There's a lot of things that is your life. Yeah, you may not die right now. You may die later from it, but you're going to die overnight from it. But you can live a very, very miserable existence on earth if you don't like the way you look and feel. So look at it that way. My personal joy is dying by me not staying with these programs and being consistent with it and making this a number one. I'm talking about a number one. Nothing should come before your happiness and joy. No amount of money should come before it. No person should come before it. No drug should come before it. Happiness and joy allows you to do amazing things. I have a client named Cindy, and we would train and then she would take off. We would train and she would take off. Every time we took off, she went into a depression. Every single time. Last year was the first year that we trained the entire year. We do a little boot camp in the mornings, and she's there 3 times a week. I'm watching her foot. She made $1 million with her business the year before. She made 1.5 the year she didn't take off. She was more productive last year than she has been in years, because she didn't go into a depression, okay? She was consistent. She stayed with it the entire time. And we talked about it the other day. I said, do you notice? I said, look how different you are. Look how happy you are. You don't talk about the scale anymore. She used to always talk. This last year, 6 months, her back pain is better. She doesn't talk about her body anymore, her body images, and she has a lot of them. She hasn't even talked about them in the last 6 months. And I've been training Cindy off and on for 20 years. She was 27 years old. She's 51. Okay, going on 52. That's how long I've known Cindy. So she's like a little sister to me. So consistency is huge when it comes to productivity. And I think there's a portion coming up here where I talk about productivity with training. And I'll mention Cindy again. But yeah, woo, it is huge on how important it is for you to be consistent. How to develop consistent behavior. That's the big one. How do we do that, Idris? Okay, we want to be consistent, so how do we create it? It takes time, man. It just takes time, okay? You just have to, set a clock, put it in your book, your calendar. This is my gym time. That's what Cindy finally did. She would let, because she's an interior designer out in Palm Springs, and she works with some high-end people. And she's like, they don't care. They don't care if I get time off. They don't care if I'm working all night long. They just want their kitchen time. So she scratched out her time in her book, and she hasn't missed in over a year. And look how her year was. So you have to sometimes just put it in the book. This is my time for that. Again, like I said, If your life depended on it, you would do it. I have a friend, my wife has a friend who, unfortunately came down with cancer, and she lived 2 hours away. We live near Dallas. So she came up because she had to and take radiation, but the only place she can go is in Dallas. For 6 weeks, she moved up to the Dallas area and did her radiation every single day like she was supposed to. If you asked her to go to the gym twice a week for 30 minutes in her own town, she would have told you she don't have time, because she has young kids. But when her life depended on it, she found the time. Okay. So we always find the time when we have to find the time. So I tell people, look, act like your life depends on it. They're only talking, 30, 45 minutes, 2-3 times a week. It ain't that much time. And you can change your whole entire life in 45 minutes, 3 times a week, believe it or not. I had a client once say to me, he was a gentleman in his late 50s, and he goes, Idris, if somebody told me 2 years ago I can get in this kind of shape, coming to the gym, seeing you two hours a week and eating right, he goes, I'd have told them they were lying. I thought you guys were in here all day, all week long. I go, man, I said, I got 2 kids at home. You think I'm in the gym all day? I said, I work in the gym. I said, but if I didn't work in the gym, I'd come in here and do, like when I wasn't a trainer and I was in the military, I went to the gym after work and had to get back home because I had a baby at the house, but I'm not going to not go, it makes no sense. So that's how you develop consistent behavior. You have to pencil it in. You have to make it a priority. And then, because sometimes you're going to slip, but if you have it in your book as one of the things that you do, you just go do it. That's the best way to do it. Just pencil it in. This is what I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 o'clock. If somebody told you to go gamble, you'd find a time for that. Football, you'd find time for that. We always find time for what we really want to do. Let's make this something we really want to do. Make this important, and you'll have no problem making it a priority and being consistent. Consistency and weight loss can't have one without the other. Can't have it. Can't have it. You will never lose the weight you want when you keep bouncing back and forth. 1 minute you're burning calories, next minute you're not. Next minute you're burning calories. 1 minute you're eating like you're supposed to, next minute you're not. Every time you take a setback, your body goes, oh, that's the norm. That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be eating donuts every single time, and you'll gain the weight back. And I always say, people, you should only lose weight once. You shouldn't lose the same weight 20 times. I've had people, I lost 20, I put 20 on. I lost 20, I put 20 on. It's like you're losing the same weight 5 and 6 times. That makes no sense. You should lose it once and never put it back on again. Okay? Lose it once and never put it back on again. Trust me, you'll love yourself and people will love you. Can't have one without the other, guys.